Hey everybody, it's Dominic from the Primetime Treasure eBay store and YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video. I was looking over my feedback recently and saw that somebody left a positive comment that said, incredible packaging, best I've ever seen, no exaggeration, thanks. And I looked at that and it felt great because the item that they were referring to was one of these Funko Pops. And for people who've been watching my channel for a while, you're probably sick and tired of hearing me talk about them. But they're important because they're a really great seller on eBay. I've done tremendously well with them, but they are a source of great frustration for collectors who purchase them on eBay, because the mistake people often make is they put them into these very small boxes that barely fit it, and as a result these things get crushed because they are made of a thin cardboard and there's plastic on two sides, and that easily could get dented and crushed, and rips could occur and creases could occur, and then it could look unsightly. And what they want to do is to display them, and so you don't want to have any of those kind of blemishes on them. Now, I previously did a video on how to pack a Funko Pop and get it to where it needs to go safely. However, I have learned a few things to kind of just perfect the technique, make it even better. If you watch my other video and you use the techniques there, it's still going to get there fine. But this is an even more foolproof method. It's kind of like best analogy I could give you in terms of why I'm doing this video is, imagine that you made a meal and it was a great meal and everybody loved it and you had this great recipe, but then over time you tinkered with it a little bit. You added a little bit of this, you added a little bit of that, you did a little different technique here, a little different technique there, and at the end you've kind of got a different method now compared to what you first used. And it's still very good, it's still great, but it's even better than it used to be. And so that's what I want to pass on to you, a couple things that I did to fine-tune my prior method. And if you use this, you will not have any damaged Funko Pops, or if you sell something kind of related to this, just anything that would go in a thin kind of cardboard box with some plastic on it that you don't want to get damaged. So check this out. Let me show you what the new method is. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your Funko Pop and you are going to take 2 pieces of bubble wrap. These are the small bubbles. You're just going to lay it down. You're going to put this on its back, and you're just going to pull a flap of the bubble wrap about halfway over it, and you're just going to wrap it up. Okay, now that's how I wrap it up. You could wrap it up how you like to. The point is that you just want to make sure this is completely covered with the bubble wrap. So see, I put it in the middle so that eventually I could just fold these flaps over and tape it down. So I'm just going to tape this seam over here so it's nice and sturdy. So I'm just going to use 3 pieces of tape for that. 1 for the middle, 1 for this side, and 1 for this side right here. So just like that. So now I'm just going to tape these parts down right here, just tape the ends down. So I'm just going to fold 2 corners in and then 1 over, but you could tape it down however you want to, doesn't really matter. The point is just make sure that this part is covered. So now we're going to do this part as well. Again, however you want to. I just pretty much use 1 piece of tape for this part and then tape it over like that. Okay, now the next step is we are going to take one of these boxes. This is one of these eBay boxes. I love them. They're 10 by 8 by 6. Those are the dimensions I would suggest. So if you want to use a different box, I mean, this is how it comes. You could get them at the eBay store. It's about $30 for 50 of these boxes, and you could use your $25 store credit on eBay. If you have an eBay store, you'll get that promotional credit every quarter, so I suggest using that. But if you don't have that, just use a box that's similar size, 10 by 8 by 6. Don't get them much smaller than that, or what's going to happen is the box is going to get crushed. You're not going to have enough room to put the padding in that I'm going to show you in a moment. So you have this, and you're going to take 3 of these air pillows. Now these are the U-line ones. I'll put a link to them down below. I get these through Amazon, and they come in just like a big bag. But you could get other ones on eBay that are a little bit cheaper if you want, but they're going to be different dimensions depending on, and different levels of thickness depending on what company you use for the air pillow. So you may have to adjust a little bit accordingly depending on the size that you find that you wind up getting, depending on the air pillow company that you purchase from. But the Uline ones are very common. All you're going to do is take 3 of them and put them on the bottom. So this is going to protect the bottom of the pop. Then, and this is where things start changing a little bit compared to what I was doing last time, you're just going to take a little cardboard flap. So you see I have all this cardboard up here. I cut them for different pieces. And you're just going to put a thin, you're just going to cut it to size. So I pre-cut this. And you're going to just put it on the back to protect the back a little bit more, because you don't want it to get crushed at all when it is in the when it is getting shipped. And so this will protect it a bit. So you put it right there, and now I'm just going to lay it kind of right in the middle, right there. Okay, so that's what we have so far. So now we're going to take 3 more of these U-lines, and we're going to put one here, and we're going to put another 3 right here. So now you see we've got the bottom protected, we've got here protected, we've got here protected. Now, what you could do, and this is something that I talked about in the prior video, is you could take another 3 of these air pillow packs and you could lay them up top. And if you have enough room to do that, that could definitely work out for you. The problem though, as I explained in a different video of bubble wrap and these air packages damaging your product, is that if it's sticking out too much, what could happen is when you go to fold it, it could puff out a little bit like this, and then unwittingly what could happen is it crushes this plastic part down below. So you don't want that to happen. So here's another technique you could use if you don't have enough room there. It is another option, and I actually find this to be the best option. That's why I'm passing it along to you. It's going to help you solve this, and it's also going to help you in terms of getting this part protected and this part protected. What I'm talking about is taking one of the thicker bubbles right here, the larger bubbles. They're called large bubbles. You take that and you just take the Funko and you don't even have to tape it down. All you do is you just lay it right over the front like that, and you see how we're going to have this part here that's hanging over the edge. That's going to protect it on the other side of the box. So you just lay it in like this, and then you just kind of tuck it in like you're tucking it in to go to sleep. And now what happens is you have that side protected, that side protected, this side protected, this side protected, and the top protected. Now, if you want to prevent even further, and I suggest doing this because you never know what the postal carriers are going to do. They're not supposed to push hard down on this, but if they do, what could happen is that even though you still have the bubble wrap around it, technically, if you're really, really unlucky, they could push down on it too hard, put a package on it too hard, and it could still wind up getting to the plastic down below and damaging it. So we want to prevent that. This is the extra step that you would take. It does not add much in terms of weight. You don't even have to use a heavy cardboard, just a light, thin cardboard like this. I mean, this is like the weight of a feather. Is you take it and you just put it right here on top. And I'm going to show you another advantage of that in just a second. This one, I just take 2 pieces of tape, one here, one here. So now it's taped down. And the good thing about this is that when you put this down like this inner flap, what's going to happen is it's going to nicely contact that side right there of the cardboard that you just put in there. And that's going to give it a nice flat even surface to rest on, and so it's not going to dig down into the underlying product. So then all you do is you fold it over and you take your tape. I use a 3-inch tape gun now. I love it. I highly suggest using this 3-inch tape gun over the 2-inch tape gun. If you want to see the link to the 3-inch tape gun, actually I'll just put a link to the video down below to my review of the 3-inch tape gun and why you should use it over the 2-inch one. So check that out. That's going to be in the description section, but just going to put a layer of tape over here. So I just put a layer right there, and then I just put a layer on the sides like this. So I'll just put one here real quick, and I just fold over the flap, and then I'm just going to do one on the other side real quick as well. So as you can imagine, if you're shipping out a lot of these Funko Pops, if you use that system, I mean, you can just bang them out like that because it's a very, very consistent system. You know, 2 pieces of bubble wrap wrapped over, 3 pieces of the air pillow right on the bottom, 3 on the side, 1 larger piece of bubble wrap over the top, and each side is protected by those cardboard flaps in the same type of box. It's very very routinized, and that helps make things go quick and fast and easy, and it will help leave you those kind of amazing feedbacks that when somebody else is thinking of purchasing a Funko Pop, and trust me, if you sell these and you look at the reviews of people who sell them, there's constant negative comments from competition of mine about these things getting damaged in the mail. So if someone's thinking of buying, they don't want that to happen to them. They want to buy from the person who has a review of being, you know, someone who's doing the best packaging that they've ever seen. So you could do that too. Just use that little technique on Funko Pops or anything else that's similar to it, that's, you know, in a fragile cardboard box or, you know, plastic box that you don't want to get damaged. That technique will help you tremendously. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. Come by to my Facebook group for more reselling tips, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. The link to that is down below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel to help get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're almost there. We're not too far away. I think it is a reasonable goal. And lastly, if you have a comment or a question at all about this technique or anything else, make sure you leave it down below and I will get to it very quickly. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you at the next video.